Hello, everyone. Welcome. I was just reading. Jay's talking to me, and I was looking over there reading. So I'm glad that that phone call helped you, Jay. I was just thinking somehow I got to get his attention so that he can look at the chat and realize that he has no audio. So welcome, everyone. For those of you that didn't immediately come over from Jay's live, Jay had a little audio problem, and we were trying to help him through it, and it did work out. So anyway, I don't know if you guys checked out my the description, but tonight we're going to work with the clear wax sills. And I have got the, well, let me just grab so I can talk currently. We've got the sealed glass mat, which is this, and this is what you can do your, let me, let's make some changes here. Switch this around. We have got the sealed glass mat, which is just a little tiny glass mat. And it's got little bumpers on it, but this is for you to do your clear wax seals with. And then we also have, I'm just getting the boxes so that I use the right words, the clear seal maker tool. And that's what this is. It's like a hot glue gun, but these particular sticks will be clear. And so they create a clear wax seal stamp. And so that's what this is. And I'm gonna get these boxes out of the way. I've got my little rubber mat for my regular sealed wax thing. I've got the Bullion, can't talk, Bullion wax seal powder, and it's in the gold. And it comes with a little applicator tool that kind of looks like an eyebrow brush or an eye shadow brush, but you wouldn't want to put this in your eyes. In fact, it says do not use as makeup, just in case you were thinking about using it as makeup. Yeah. I didn't realize how much fun these were going to be when I started playing with them. I've made some already. I did a video on my channel, and then I've got one that's going to air on another channel upcoming soon, but they're super fun. And when you pair them with the rub-ons, they're really fun. So I've got a bunch of them here that I did, but I thought it'd be fun just to look at it because it is new. And I thought it'd be fun to play with. And we are going to make a card if everything turns out. I've already kind of pulled together some things for a card. I think it'll be fun. And then we'll just get started with it. So I was getting this thing heated up. That's why it took me a minute to hop in after Jay was live, because I was like, oh, I need to get it turned on. But what I've got here is the tools, and then there is a cutting die that works with this frame's stamp. And there are two like heads on the stamp. You've got a postage die stamp for your wax seal, and then you've got an oval. And they're both very decorative. They've got the decorative elements. This one has the postage, and then this one has kind of a floral, I don't know, almost like a doily type background, but really pretty. And then these particular dies here, they are called the frame inserts. They are sized to die cut out whatever you want to put in the center of these. There's an oval and then the rectangle for this one, and you can die cut out, and they'll work perfectly with these rub-ons. These are designed for these particular stamps. I've also got a solid circle one here too that we could work with if we wanted to. Anyway, and then I have these rub-ons that are called Little Works of Art, and they're just really decorative, and you can basically die cut these out and, you know, attach them to your clear wax silk. So let's just get going and we'll see how this goes. Now I don't want to lose this thing. When I made my video, I lost it and I had to use my bone folder to scrape it. So I'm gonna set that there. So I think this is good and hot. And basically what you want to do, I know I'm going to work with this one, but we'll start off with this one since it's on there, is you want to create a puddle on here, and this little leg you can get out of your way, but you want to create a puddle big enough that basically you can get your stamp to press, and that's probably plenty big and plenty thick that I have right there. And so I'm just going to come in with this and just give it a good press. Now I did on mine that I made last time, I did kind of trim the extra globs off. I know not everybody does that. Some people choose to leave that on there. But I want to let it dry a little bit because I've got it pretty thick and I want to make sure that it kind of hardens before I pull it off so that I don't mess up the design. So I'm just going to give it a minute and then try to work it away. There we go. So we've got our first one pressed, and you can see I was kind of wider on this side than I was on that side, but overall it turned out pretty well. So anyway, let's just keep going. And I've got a bunch of sticks, so I'm going to make a couple, 2 or 3 of these of each, and then we'll do add some of the bells and whistles to it. And I don't, there's no really rhyme or reason to this. I just kind of go in the shape of whatever it is that I'm working with, and then hope that I have enough on there. I may not have enough for this one, but it might press out. It might be all right. We might be a little shy on one side, but anyway, let's see. What's everybody saying? Oh, hi, Delise. Welcome. Glad you could join us. Yeah, these are really cool. Now, obviously, you want to make sure you get the right sticks in here. And it'd be cool if you could do colored ones, but I don't think you could get all the color out to then have clear, because I think it'd be fun for that. But I do have the regular melting pot for the colored ones, and we might do some colored ones just to see how the rub-ons and the powder look on the colored ones. We might do that as well when we get going here, but I thought we'd just start off with this since it is a fun new tool. I'm going to pull this off and hopefully you can see it. Let's see. I've got a little piece of something that I can stick this on. I'm just looking for, oh, here's a little red color. Maybe you can see it a little bit better on that. Super fun. These are just super fun. I just kind of stamping them out is very satisfying. I don't know why. I guess you're just playing with wax, but so there's 2 of those. And then all of these, you can just kind of screw them off and then screw the new head on. And this is the postage stamp. Now, this particular one is the one that I have my little card design based on, is this particular one here. I actually had a postage stamp die that I think my wax seal will fit on, and I can have like a blue background with it. So I kind of based my card design off of this, but we're just going to do some of these and we'll see what happens. Now I'm going to have to put a new stick in because I'm kind of getting to the bottom of the barrel here. So hopefully I can get enough laid down on here, and this looks like a lot. I haven't mastered the appropriate amount that you need to have on there. And you do kind of get the little kind of the glue stringy things with this that you wouldn't get with the other set. And I'm not sure I got enough on here, but we're going to give it a press. Let me get, now you can get the sticks. The sticks that come with the kit are these short ones that are, let's see, how long are they? Looks like they're about 4 inches. But if you buy the sticks separately, you can get them, and I think they're like 8 inches. So here's another stick. I'll need that pretty soon. And then if you buy the sticks, you get 20 of them, and they're almost 8 inches, and they're real long. So you wouldn't have to change those out as much. But I thought I'd start with the ones that came in the box with the tool before we move into the other ones. Now here's the postage edge. I could have been a little bit bigger on that, but actually I did get the corner of the postage edge. So if I kind of trim the blob away, it'll be a good melt. Anyway, so let's just keep going. Like I said, I don't have any rhyme or reason for this. I just kind of, I'm laying it out there, trying to make sure I get enough. And I'm going to have to turn it in the other direction, I think. And then kind of get your little stringy things out of there. We'll put this other piece in there so it'll push down. It's just like any other glue, similar to any kind of a glue gun where you have to kind of keep your glue in there so that it'll press it to the end. Now I got plenty on this because I got it all 4 sides around there. Anyway, so I think we'll, let's see what the chat is saying. Denise says, hey, Lala, you've been listening and lurking, working on sublimation orders. Fun. I have not tried sublimation. I would like to. I've just never been brave enough to try it. I do a lot of Cricut stuff, but have not done that. Lala says she's been missing everyone's lives lately. Business is at its peak during this time, but she'll be back to watching and making content as well in December. Hey, Caroline, welcome. So Caroline just popped in. So yeah, and Jay had mentioned Linda doing the Spellbinders Advent calendar, and I've been having to avoid her because I don't want to, I don't want to spoil it for myself. I try to avoid any of the early Spellbinder type things because I don't want to ruin this, ruin it for me. So anyway, let's see. I'm trying to think if I want to let's go ahead and, since we have this other round one, let's go ahead and do a round one. And while we got this thing heated up, and then we'll, sorry about the packaging noise, then we will do our rub-on transfers and our powder and all that. I thought we'd just try several things. So this is just a circle one here that I've got. So I'll just kind of lay this down in a circle, trying to get that little wax hair off of there. And we'll just give it a press and see how this goes. And while I'm letting that cool, I'm going to grab a couple more. I have got a box here that has all of my regular, there's some gold in here, but I've got several. This one is a leafy one. These are kind of fun. I don't know how these will work. There's a mini puffy heart. Anyway, we'll just stamp some of these. We're not going to do them all, but we'll give it a try and see what it looks like just for fun. So I think I'm liking how this round one kind of wicked out around there. It looks like I got a really good circle on that. Yeah, that's a real nice circle. And it just has a flat surface. You'd have to use one of your circle dies to die cut, whatever to go inside that if you wanted to put like a rub on or something like that. Anyway, let's go ahead and, what did I do with the one? Oh, here it is. I wanted to do this fern one. It's fern leaf. I think this one sounds fun. I think it looks really fun. And this is like an oval. And I wonder, well, you would not put a rub on this, but I just want to see how it'll do. I assume it's going to do. I think you could probably put some color behind it and make it look interesting that way. So let's see. Hey, Cordelia, welcome. Let's see. What is Caroline talking about? You did a wax seal and glue stick you did a live too? Oh my goodness. I didn't realize that. I missed it. So for some of you guys, this might be old hat if you caught Caroline's live with it. I was just thinking, what do I want to work with? And I thought, well, what's new? And I thought, well, I've got this and it might be interesting. I'm trying to find some things. I keep knocking this over. I'm going to break this. Trying to find some things that are interesting because I feel like because I do videos every day, I'm like, what can I show that's, kind of fun and different on Sunday nights. But Anyway, this is the fern. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see it? Trying to get it. There, we can see it a little bit there. But the fern. So it's kind of pretty on the clear. So is there any more I want to do before we start working with the other things? Let me see. I have got these blue ones. What did I do with them? Oh, here they are. I've got too much stuff out now. I was real organized and thought, oh, I've got all this. These are little bitty ones. These are minis. And so we'll just stamp a couple of them up. This is a mini bow. Cute. So Caroline, did you have the rub-on transfers and all that stuff as well in your live? Let me catch up on the and glue stick sills today. Caroline, as we'll be sending tons of cards in the next few ways, what a better way to send them than adding? Yeah, adding the wax sill to it. Yeah. Denise got her sublimation tumblers completed. Cut out a 1-inch circle of pattern paper, pour the glue over it, then stamp. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. I've got rub-ons that I'm going to use with them. Anne Marie said she fell asleep, Miss J's live. It's 2 a.m. No wonder. Goodness, yeah, you need to get some sleep. Anyway, oh, that bow is so cute. Super cute. Yep. Alrighty. Well, I think what we're going to do is we're going to start working with these rub-ons. This may not be a very long live tonight. I'm not sure. So we'll see. Get some of this stuff put away. Got too much stuff here. All right. So now what I did last time was I think I put the powder on first before I put the rub on. I had a viewer say that I should put the, I'm going to unplug this for a minute. Hopefully we won't need any more. It's dripping glue. Yeah, I guess it's glue or wax or whatever you want to call it. Just unplug that. We'll shut it off. I guess I could have just shut it off. Anyway, they had suggested that I put the rub on first and then the wax, but I did it the other way because I was trying to preserve the rub on picture and not get the wax on it. So I think I'm going to continue to kind of, now it says you can use this or your finger. And the person that was telling me about doing the gold first said the finger works better. So we'll give it a try. I thought the applicator brush worked fine as well. So you can see that little bow kind of comes to life when you add that on there. And you can go around the raised edge too and kind of put a frame around it. So that does work if you use your finger, but I prefer to use the applicator because I just don't want to get my fingers all dirty. Now this one, this floral oval really comes to life when you add on there. If I want to check out Spellbinders releases, Shanna's channel is truly my go-to place. Thank you. Yeah, I do a lot of Spellbinders stuff. I surely do. They have great product, and I love working with it. I'm even kind of catching the edges. Now this one I think pressed out really nice. Really happy with that. So I'll kind of give you a look at it. Really like, it looks like a vintage old mirror, kind of like a mirror frame is what it looks like. Now I don't have the silver. I only have the gold. I'll have to get the silver. But I think it's just, I don't know. There's something about it. It's just so fun. I really enjoy it. I think it's relaxing, very relaxing. Now here is with just the fern. Can you use a fixative on the gold powder to keep it attached? I don't think it's going to go anywhere because I did these several days ago and I don't feel like it's going anywhere, but you might be able to. I don't know, but this has stayed on really well. Oh, Caroline, or Lala says, you're all amazing sources of inspiration, Caroline, through your videos. She has created more than 30 beatable pins for gift givings. Thanks so much, my friend. That is awesome. I need to do that. That sounds like fun. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do the frame on this too and just kind of add some just because it's so much fun. Just adding that gold to it. Okay. I'm just gonna do all these up while we got it and we'll just see how it goes. But I think the applicator does a pretty good job of applying it, honestly. And you don't have to get as much on your fingers. Now you can see it kind of messed up there a little bit, but you can trim that right off if you don't like that extra edge. I have a tendency not to like that extra edge on there. And I don't know if there's a better way to squish these to where you don't have that. That's pretty. I'm getting gold all over this whole thing just to kind of fill it in. I think that looks really pretty too. So I want to do these because I'm going to use these on my one of these on my card that I have planned out. And I'll probably trim it down because I'm going to use my little die cut piece that I put it on. Anyway, these are so cute. I just think they're adorable little frames. So what do you trim it with? I used my scissors. I just grabbed a pair of scissors and trimmed it with that. And I'll show you here in a minute. This one here is really kind of blobby, so I'll show you it. Let me get it all. And I just grabbed my scissors and just cut them right off. I have some scissors that I call my sticky scissors that I do like my tape and stuff like that with, and I'll probably use those and just trim it off. So, all right, so let's do that. I need to make some room because I'm gonna have to bring in my little Scout die cutting machine so that we can die cut those rub-ons down to the size that we need. So these are my messy scissors. And so you can just kind of take it and I'm just gonna go along that edge and just snip that right off. Now, if I trimmed it before I put the wax or the gold on there, I might have been able to heat this wax back up in my little burner thing and reused it. But anyway, so that gives me a real clear piece. And see, I'll be able to lay that on my little die cut and it'll have my little rub on in there and it'll be super cute. Oh, thank you, Lala. She likes the frame, the back frame. If you have a sill you don't like, can you apply a light layer and start over? I'm sure you can because it would just heat it back up, and you sure could. I'm sure that you could, Jim. So anyway, but this is what I'm planning on working with tonight. So, and I got a little gold on there. I've got some gold on my fingers, but I'm just going to trim some of these up, and we'll kind of clean up a little bit of the mess, and we will do our rub-ons. I'm going to die cut them out, and then we'll rub them on, and I'll show you what that looks like. But I think you could probably spend hours doing this because it is super fun. I remember when I got it, I thought, I wonder how, I wonder if I'll like this or not. And then I got going, I was like, I can't stop. I just kept making them. And if you can kind of fussy cut around this and kind of go around the scallops. And I know, true seal, stamps, they didn't generally cut them down, but I guess I'm a little bit pickier about them, and so I'm just cutting them off so they look nice. I like the way this one looks. It doesn't bother me that and I'll leave that one alone. And I think this one looks cute too, but I wanted to cut those other ones down. So let's get all of this out of the way. I'm just going to pitch it. And it is super, super fun. Got all these bits and pieces. Let's see. I feel like I want to be able to do a rub on a colored one as well. So I'm going to have to, I've got this. So let's get the gun out of the way. And let's heat this thing up and we'll bring in some colored ones. Hold on, I need to grab my lighter. I have a lighter in here because I have a candle that I burn all the time. And so we'll get this lit and we're going to set that over it. And then we have this. And I have, what did I do with that? I have blue and white and gold is what I have. And this little thing comes from Spellbinders, and it's just perfect to put your little wax pieces in. So I'm going to just, we're going all sills all the way tonight because we're doing both options. Because I just wanted to, I haven't tried it with the colored yet. So let's see. Oh, Lala says, Jay, these would go very well with our faith journals. Yeah. Yeah, it is this is just a really, it's from Spellbinders. And what I've got in here that's kind of, is I have the colors. This is blue. I just cut the tag out and stuck it in there, but it's not sticking. I had some washi tape. This is blue smoke, and this is pearl white that I have here. And I just kept those so that I would know the colors. I should put them on there a little bit better. Anyway, but yeah, it comes from Spellbinders. I think I bought that when they were having one of those big sales that they were having. I picked up some this and some other things to go with it. But anyway, so we're gonna have to wait a minute for this to heat up. So we'll let that do its thing. And right now, let's go ahead and make some room here for my die cutting machine, and we will die cut some of these little rub-ons out so that we can rub them on. So we got a lot going on the desk here. And these are the little dies I need for that. So I had some, and hopefully I have not lost them. I had some that were already kind of cut apart here. I don't know where they went. I'm not sure. I had a couple cuties that I was eyeballing. They went along with my color scheme, of course, but we can still pick them out. Let me get this stuff out of the way. Yeah. Oh. They were on the floor. So I do want to use this floral one here. I want to give it a try. And so I'm going to just cut it apart. Hey, Jana. Haven't talked to you today. When Jay was live and I was getting ready, I thought, I haven't talked to Jana today. I need to talk to her. So anyway, I'll give you guys an update. Tomorrow we will not be going live in the morning, Daria and I. And our Mondays are actually going to move to Monday evenings. So I think we're going to go live at 6 p.m. on Monday evenings. So I will try to schedule in advance so you guys can check it out or whatever, but I think we're going to be moving to Monday evenings. So that's what the initial plan is. It will not be this Monday. Tomorrow we're taking the day off. So stay tuned for that, but I just wanted to give you guys an update. So basically this little tiny die is designed to just die cut out the perfect size for the postage stamp wax seal there. And so we're going to do that. And I guess while I'm at it, I've got this other one. I already did. Let's do a different one. I've already done, I think I did the lemons on my last card. So I'm going to do something different on here. And there's some little animals. I think that's a black cat sitting on a chair there. And you've got like the Mona Lisa and I don't know, probably other famous works of arts that I'm not familiar with. But just all kinds of fun ones. And I'm just going to cut down like this from the top. And there's one on here I want to die cut out. I figure since I'm going to run the die cutting machine, let's go ahead and do 2 at a time. And I'm going to break something glass here. This is a single rose. And so I think that'll be nice with the oval. And I'm going to throw caution to the wind and not tape them down. And hopefully we'll get, ooh, our wax is melting over there. This could be dangerous. I thought it would take longer to melt, but it didn't take very long. I'm keeping my eye on it so we don't spill. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to set this die cutting machine aside and let's go ahead and do some pouring and see what comes out. Now, I don't know what temperature this thing can withstand. I think I might pour it out on this just so I don't, because I'm not sure how hot that temperature of that gun is as compared to this, because I know this thing gets really hot. So let's just pour a little out and see what we can do. I just really want to see, I want to put a rub on a colored one is basically what I'm wanting to do. And I've kind of got an oval going there. So I'm just going to grab, I need to get it on there before it cools off. Let's grab this oval one and see what happens here. Okay, all right. So let's go back to these. Oh, good, they didn't move. Now, one thing you have to be careful of is if the back comes off and you touch it, you're going to get the rub on your finger. So you want to be kind of careful with that. Ask me how I know. Experience. So I'm kind of keeping it on there like that. And then it's just, I cut that out perfectly. So we'll get this out of the way. Clear space here. Oh gosh, that is so pretty. That scallop on that blue. And we're just going to have that one because I don't think I'm going to heat it up again, but I just wanted to try it on the collared. I want to put a rub on the collared ones. But isn't that pretty? I love that blue smoke. It's real, the color just is kind of, it has a swirl to it and you kind of see multiple colors in it or whatever, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so we've got our sills here. And I'm going to use my tweezers. And we just need to get that little back piece off of there. And I'm going to just grab it in the corner with my tweezers so that I don't lose a lot of the pattern on there. Because when you grab it with your fingers, it's going to put it on your finger. So then we just give it a good press, and it's just like any other rub-on. It's going to start to lift. And it's just super fun. If I can get underneath there. Gotta find a place where I can lift it. There we go. Oh my gosh. And now you've got an itty bitty mini picture. Is that cute or why? So this is a floral scene. Let's see, what do we got? I use the electric pot, nervous about an open flame around all the paper. Oh, okay. I don't have an electric pot. I just use the flame and hope for the best. I got a fireman in the house, so. And he doesn't even know that I'm in here playing with these, with open fire. Okay, we're going to do the round one, and we're going to do it on, oh, let's see what, let me turn this around. This has got some blue on it, so it'd be really pretty on the blue. Let's go ahead and lay it on that one. We can do more. We've got plenty. They're just super fun, I think. Let's see. I guess you could die cut almost anything and attach it to the sill. Yeah, you could. You could. You could use, your paper, just anything. The thing of it is these dies are just the right sizes. So you could take a sticker, you could take paper, whatever you want to attach, and it would be the right size, and then you could just put it down on there. So it just, kind of endless opportunities as far as that goes. I'm trying to get a hold of it. Get in there. Come on. Got to angle it to where I can see. I keep getting it and then losing it. There we go. And now we've got a rose in a blue frame. Really very, very pretty, very elegant. And I'm probably going against what everybody else would do, but I just want to cut that off. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just the perfectionism in me or what, but there we go. Cute, cute little frames. All right, let's die cut out a few more. Now here, it looks like I didn't probably press it enough because there's a little bit of color left on there. So I probably could have, yeah, I can see the edge. I could have done a little bit better job pressing with it. So let's go ahead and do some more while we're at it. Yeah. So, yeah, this was just this is just the Spellbinders set is what this is here. It's what they sell for them. So here's a fun one. This is like I don't know if this is like a llama or I think that's what it is. You guys can tell me. Is that a llama? I'm not sure, but it's fun. Anyway, so let's go ahead and do die cut out a few more, and we'll do a couple more rub-ons and see where we land here. But I do have the elements for a card, so I think we'll get that done. And I think it's going to be pretty. I think I'm going to use this one or maybe this one if I do this one. So let us, I think we'll die cut this one out since I'm thinking about this. And I'm just looking at the colors is why I'm saying I might want to use this one. And let's do the llama or whatever in the oval. And we'll get it laid down on there. So I don't know if you guys, I have all of the materials linked in the description box below. So if you think you have an interest in any of this product, it is linked up. And as you know, shopping with the affiliate links always helps content creators. Okay. So, yep, it is a llama. Okay, thanks, Denise. I thought it was, but I didn't want to say it if I was wrong. So, okay. So, and the other thing is you may have, and I was thinking about, talking about, you guys were talking about this, the Spellbinders Advent Calendar. You get a lot of different little bitty dies in, so you might have, you very well may have an oval and a rectangle that are about the size that would work. I don't know. This is, oh gosh, I don't know. It looks like it is, looks like it's probably 5/8 wide. I don't know. I didn't measure the length of it by 1 inch or, it's close to that. So it probably has, does it have the measurements on here? It does not. Maybe they did that intentionally so that you would buy these little ones. I don't know. Anyway, but you might have something in your stash that you could do this with and then get the rub-on transfers or or whatever and do this. So I just think it's very fun. So the first thing is I'm going to peel this off the back, grab this by the very, very edge and lay it down on there. And then make sure that I get it all rubbed all the way around the edges because I didn't do that the last time. So we'll get it really good. That is so cute. I don't know if this is a boring life for you guys or what, just watching me work with these little rub-on transfers and these wax seals, but I just thought it was fun, a fun new product. Now that came off clean, so I did rub it correctly. And then we have this. So it's super cute. All right. So I'm going to do another one on the postage stamp. And this one is a bird on a limb with some flowers. And I'm kind of doing the similar color schemes because of the card stock that I've got laid out to use. So I'll just get that laid down on there and press it. The colored ones really look pretty too. And just looking at that blue, that's really very pretty. Oh, that was coming right up. Look at that. I guess if you rub hard enough, it's just going to release itself. So here's our other one. So just to kind of give you a feel for what I've got going here. So I've got one more that I could put something in. And I'm thinking we might as well do it since we've got it out. I've got this, I'm going to go with these florals here. They're really pretty. I keep moving, getting the die cutting machine out and putting it back up. All right, so we've got an oval. We'll go ahead and die cut this one out. We'll finish it off, and then we're going to go ahead and make our card. I've got that upside down. I need to turn it around. I don't know if you guys can see that kind of off camera here. And just get it lined up on there. And like I said, I've been trying my luck without taping it or anything. I'm just pressing my plate down, and it hasn't moved. I think you can get away with it more on the Spellbinders than you can on the Empress. You have to tape on that thing, even with the magnetic thing, because it moves. Now the back piece came off of that. So I'm gonna very carefully see if I can grab a hold of that with my tweezers. Oh, I thought I got it stuck on my finger, but I did not. Okay. Let's get this out of the way. And we'll get this laid down on here. Very, very pretty. I just think they just keep continuing to come out with the most fun things. Now, see, if you rub that hard enough, that rolled right up and it came right off. So I think it's, you just have to press harder than what I was pressing. And then you don't have to reach in there and grab it. Anyway, so this is the second time that I've played with these. And I think I'm getting a little bit better at it. And I'm kind of getting the gist. So that's good. Now you could just do anything circular on this one. I'm not going to do anything with it, but anyway, so fun. All right. So what I've got, try and get my desk cleaned up a little bit so we have room to make a card, and we will have a finished product. I kind of have an idea. This goes somewhere. Get this Bullion powder put up. Okay. Pieces, parts. Clear an office space. Okay. Goodness gracious. Stuff is everywhere. Okay. So this is trash. Okay. So I went ahead and I prepared something for a card so that we could use one of these. And I've got all these other ones over here that I could use as well that are super fun. But anyway, we'll work with the ones that we made tonight. So what I did was I was looking at the rub-on transfers, and this is the full sheet. You get 2 sheets of them. So this is the full one. I've been cutting away at the one I've been cutting on. And you can see there's a variety of different, bouquets and women and animals. Look at this dog with a party hat. I did work with him. He's in one of these. You've got some lions and more dogs, a bunny, just really fun, a swan, a giraffe. Here's a lady with a guitar, and just lots of really, really fun rub-ons that come with it. But as I was looking at that, there's kind of a color that is jumping out to me, and I thought it looked like this. This is the holiday add-on pack for the, oh, I forget what they call them, but basically it's like a color palette. Jim is saying, Jay, those frames would have worked on your card you made tonight. And Denise says she's enjoying watching the process. Anyway, so as I looked at this, it made me think of this. So I pulled this out and thought, well, I'm going to use some of these colors. And so I kind of dug into my cardstock and tried to find something that would look similar to it. And so I came across, well, one, I had die cut an oval out of this, and it kind of looks like that lighter color there. And then this one kind of looks like the darker color that's around the fence and some of the clothing there. And so I thought that would kind of represent that. And I feel like it's a really good match with, here's the llama. Here's the floral one that I think I'm going to use. And then we have the bird. I think it matches very nicely with that. And so I just started pulling things in. Now, I also thought, well, it might be interesting. I was trying to, because we're going to have such a small focal point on our card, I felt like we could jazz it up a little bit. And so what I decided to do was to bring in, and I've linked this stuff in the description box below as well. I brought in the Decal Edge script die, and I glimmered it. So while Jay was live, I glimmered it, and then I cut it down. I didn't use the deckled edge on it because it was bigger than what I wanted to use, but I did that. And then I thought I wanted to bring in, I was looking at gray, and this kind of looks like black, but I thought I could use the navy blue. And so that's why I grabbed the blue cardstock, the indigo cardstock from Spellbinders, and I die cut out the postage edge, thinking that we could probably lay this on here, have a nice little background, and we've got a little tiny focal point. And so tried to decorate this to add some interest to the card. And then I also brought in the Filled Notes twine is what I brought in, the Filled Notes twine, and that's this one. And I've got it in the blue as well. And I was also thinking about the gray, and I brought in, this is no longer available. I went and looked for it. It was a die of the month, and it was called Stylized Border Trio. And I thought about this, but I don't think we're going to use this because when I laid it all out, I didn't think it worked for me, but we'll kind of proceed down the path and see what we want to do. Now, I need a card base. And I'm going to get a good one. Trying to find a heavy duty one. Well, I think this will work. Anyway, so we're just going to get started and get a card assembled, and we'll see what happens. So what I need to do, this is obviously going to be my bottom layer because it is gutted, and I'm going to have to layer over on top of it to cover it up. I like to make the most of my cardstock, and so I'm going to use gutted ones and everything to make it work. Now it seems like the card base and this panel are a little bit off. So I'm going to measure this and see what I've got here. That's pretty close to 5.5 and 4 1/4. So let's see what we've got here. Yeah, that's pretty close. It just felt like it was a little bit off, like I was going to have a little bit showing, but I don't know. Yeah, it just acts like it's a little bit off. Okay, let's see. I got too many things going on here. You hope Spellbinders will be doing holiday sets. Yeah, that would be nice. I'm just going to trim just a smidge off of this. And boy, I'm making a lot of racket tonight. All right, let's put this back so we can find it. All right, and then we're going to get this laid down. I feel like I may need to bring in an embossing folder because I think we could have our next layer be embossed and add a little bit of texture too. So we may just do all the things. We're going to have a wax sill, a glimmer panel, an embossed panel, some twine, the whole kit and caboodle. And you can tell my age by all my little lines that I use. My 4-year-old grandson will say, "Look, Nana, it's cool, it's cool." And I told my husband, I said, "You can tell that he's been raised by an old person. He spent a lot of time with me saying, "Isn't that cool?" Anyway, because he says that all the time. I don't know if kids, I don't think kids say that anymore. But my grandson does because he's heard Nana say it over and over and over again. The other night he was here and stayed all night. I mentioned it in my videos for those of you that watch my videos, but he kept wanting to go outside and look at the stars. And it was we've had such really nice weather. So we just went outside and looked at the stars. They're big into the planets and stuff. So, okay, so we've got this. I just took it down to 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to emboss it. So let me just real quick grab an embossing folder, and we're going to have to bring in the big Platinum 6 to get it done. You can tell I didn't plan ahead for this, so I just reached and grabbed anything. And I didn't get what I wanted. I thought this handful would have gotten the one that I wanted. It must be deeper. I have them in order of how they are released. And they're actually in order that way. This is the one I want. And now I'm going to have to put them back in order because I grabbed a big batch out. This is the distressed mix, and I think this kind of goes along with everything we got going on here. So we'll just go ahead. Did I? I did cut that down. Okay. I'm going to go over in this corner here. You've got the 5 and the 8. We're going to cover a lot of it up but I just think we're going to emboss it. I just like to have an embossed panel. All right, now where's the big dollar? I did some cleaning over the weekend and kind of rearranged some things. And you guys know how that goes when you clean and you rearrange, then you can't find anything. And that's just how it works. And all of these, my plates are atrocious. I'll just tell you that right now. Now where? Okay. I need to buy a new set of plates. But I think they're like 60 or 70 bucks. I don't know. It's ridiculous. All right. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Love it. Love it. Okay. We're going to get there. I've just got my stool. When I go live, for some reason, I feel like I have to sit on a stool instead of in my chair. I guess I want to be up higher and see more of what I'm doing. So I've got that. And then I'm thinking this, we're just kind of relayering, and maybe this is too much. I feel like I need to cut this panel down a little bit more. Let's go ahead and lay this down. We can find our glue. And I may bring that down because our focal point is so small. We can bring that panel down even smaller. And I think it'll be all right. Stepped on the die cutting machine. Have I got my card? Yeah. Make sure I had my card base lay in the right direction. Okay, so we've got that. Let's go ahead and trim this down if we can find the trimmer. And I was at 3 3/4 by 5, so I think I'm going to go 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. And we'll just take that down, and I think that'll be all right. Okay, here we go. Let's see, that looks a little better. Yeah, now we've got a little bit more of that embossed panel showing, and it's a little bit more interesting. Okay, so we have got, well, this for one thing, we're going to get it laid down on here. And I have a tape runner. I don't know if this will hold it or not. I may have to put some glue on there, but I was trying not to get too messy with it. Is that going to hold it? It's sticking pretty well. Just trying to get it lined up on here. I need to go over a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm going to need probably a dot of glue on there. And this is where, you know, like Caroline said, I could have put paper behind it, but I wanted to trim it up and have the shape that I wanted, so. I think the picture will cover it up enough. Let's see, what's everybody doing? Delise says she was lurking and watching. Well, we all kind of do that periodically. But you know, that's just fine because you know you're running, you're watching, so we're getting the YouTube, whatever you want to call it, for having people watch. So that's beneficial, even if you're busy doing something. We certainly appreciate you having us on. So this is the twine, and I was thinking that I want it to go around here like this, and then we're going to have our focal point here. Now, the thing that I wasn't sure of was I was thinking about bringing in the gray and putting it down. And I just feel like, I don't know if it takes away from the blue. So this is where you guys can give me your input. Now let's go ahead and get this assembled real quick, and we can look at everything as a whole. If I can get all the pieces here. And this is the bow that goes with the Field Notes twine. And I don't know if they go up, down. However, we're going to just get it assembled. Okay. Try and get them lined up on top of each other. There we go. That's a little bit better. And then we got our little bended twine piece. Where's my tweezers up? Sometimes these little things are harder to pick up, so if you have some tweezers. Okay. I want to get that lined up better. Come on. Okay, we've got the little decorative piece that we can put on there. And I'm not sure how this is going to work with our little stamped image on there, but we'll see. Okay, so in theory, this is how this thing goes, like this. But because I'm wanting to do this on there, I don't know if I want the bow on there or not. We could probably we could put our bow somewhere else, or maybe not use our bow. I don't know. This is what I was thinking. Okay, what is everybody doing? Let's see. Hey, Linda, welcome. Everybody just chatting. So let me see. I'm trying to decide if I want this gray or not. I'm thinking I don't. I feel like I just want to go with the blue. I think it's distracting. So I think I'm just going to go with this and get it laid down on here. So what I'm going to do is just take and just bend it over like that. And we'll just glue it down. I get all the way over to the edge. And then we'll just see if we're lined up halfway decent. I think it looks good. And we'll just bend this over as well. Put some glue on there. And give it a good press. There we go. And then I'm thinking, let's see. I really like that on there like that. Maybe I think we do it like that because I like the bow on there. All right, let's bring in some foam and we'll pop this up. Just put the foam right over our twine, and that way it won't come up. Get my sticky scissors. I'm going to clear over to the edge so I have room to put one in the middle as well. And we'll have plenty of foam on here. It's not going anywhere. Yeah, I like that. You like the idea? You like this idea? Oh, thank you. I don't know. I was just thinking about pieces parts. I've been kind of going through some of my bins, kind of like Jim's been doing. Jim's been um, reorganizing his and kind of moving them around to where um, I think to where, they're more manageable and they're easier to lift. And, because if you get a lot of these die sets into a bin, they are so heavy. And that's what I have found myself in. I bought these bins from Target they fit really nice on my cubes and you can get a lot in there. But man, when you go to lift them, you cannot hardly even lift them. They're so heavy. So let's see. I'm kind of liking that. All right, let's get this laid down on here. So Linda says things are going well. Yeah, it is a workout, Jay. Yeah, for sure. So is can the die cutting machine can be that when you're cranking it. It can be a workout on your shoulder too. We did I don't know if I haven't talked to you guys since we had the gnome. I took the Fergus gnome felt gnome set and I did a class at church last Thursday or this past Thursday, and we had to die cut out 12. I actually think I did 14 because I want to have extra in case we had people show up that we weren't planning on. And we die cut those out and all of the pieces and all the decorative things. And I mean, my sister and I were both feeling it after we did that because we were hand cranking them. I didn't have the Empress. It wasn't working well with the felt, so I was choosing not to use that. And so we kind of paid the price for that. Okay. So, but it turned out really fun. And I'm starting to I got a couple pictures tonight from one of the ladies that was in there. She had sent me last night. I got a picture from my mom, got hers finished, and we had gone to bed so early. I didn't even get a chance to respond on it because we were in bed when she sent it, but she finished. And then one of the ladies at church also finished and sent me some pictures. So and I was so pleasantly surprised because those Fergus, there's a lot of effort that goes into assembling those because it's sewing. And I was just thinking, oh my gosh, how's this going to go? And these women were just fantastic. I mean, well, for some of them were quilters, so they knew exactly what they were doing. But I thought there's no way we're going to get it done. We started at 7 p.m. and I thought there's no way. And we went to about 10 o'clock and they got them really close to being done. And I was really surprised. But now we could add two, we could do one. I think I was just loading this one up to see if I might want to put another one on there, but I'm not sure that I want to. I think I like it with just the one on there. And then I have some sentiments, and I thought what did I do with them? I've got to look around and see. I grabbed them so that I would have them handy, and now I can't find them. Oh, here they are. If they were a snake, they would have bit me. So one of the things I did when I was cleaning is I got my birthday miscellaneous and Christmas sentiments that I have already previously die cut all these out. And I've got them organized into these little things so that if I just need, did I finish one? You're curious what they look like. I have, and I don't have any of them in the craft room right now. I finished 3.5 of them. I did a Halloween, a winter, and a Christmas, and I'm working on a sunflower one, so that's the half. And then one of the ladies didn't show up, and her friend, she'd asked her friend, "Will you make mine while you're there so that I can get it?" Because she's sick. And so I worked on hers, which I need to dig it out and finish it so that I can get it to her. But anyway, yeah, no, I've made some and they are darling. Let me see. If you guys, if you don't mind me pausing, I think I can lay my hand on the Halloween one. Hold on. Okay. Sorry about that. But here's the Halloween one that I made. So, um, but I've made the winter one. The winter and the Christmas probably are my favorites, but these are fun. So you stitch all of this and then you add, we did hot glue with the decorative elements, but all of this is, stitched, and then you have a blanket stitch and all that. But this is the Halloween one. We've got the skull with a flower on there and the pumpkin, and we've got a couple spiders and a bat, spider web, another bat. Super fun. So, yeah. Anyway, the other two, I think, yeah, they are in the back of my car. Because I thought some of the women, if they realized they needed some more decoration or something like that, I left it in my car so that when I went to church today, I would have access to it and could give them whatever they need. So that's what I did. I have some of these in this color here that I think could be really pretty with it. It's like, they're like 3 tones of this Spellbinders cardstock. You've got this darkest one, this one, and then this is a step lighter. So that could be kind of cute. That's a happy birthday. I don't know how I would put it on there. I can't really quite fit it. If we put it down here, we could do that. And then I had some smaller miscellaneous ones that we could do, like sending hugs or thanks a million. Anyway, I've just got, all of those ones that you press in a single press and you die cut in a single die are in here. And so I've got a variety. I've got just a variety of sentiments in here that we could use. Just kind of thumbing through there and looking at them. I kind of like these. I think I'm going to go with those. So let's not get these messed up. This is miscellaneous. I kind of like that thanks a million. But I really probably need more happy birthday cards anyway. So, filled notes. I'm sorry, what set is the little bow from? Cordelia, that is filled notes, and that's exactly right. And it's the filled notes twine is what that is. And it's this particular die set here, the filled notes twine. And then you have the filled notes tools that go along with it. And it actually has a circle in here that you can put your round. I thought I had a round one. I do. I don't know where I put it, but you can put your round wax seal on there, and they show that. Here is the filled notes. It kind of shows you. They put it on there on the diagonal, and that looks really pretty. Anyway, so that's what that is. It is linked in the description box below, so if you're interested in it, you could click that link and pick it up. I've got happiest birthday wishes. I kind of like it's a little bit bigger, and since we don't have a lot on our card, I kind of like that one. So let's use it, and I think the color scheme will work with it. So it is 9 o'clock. I really thought we would get done a lot quicker. I think I've been kind of dragging it out, and but I think we're almost there. Let's go ahead and get our sentiment laid down on here, and I think we'll be good to go. Anyway, so I hope you guys like these clear wax seals. I think they're certainly fun. The rub-ons and the powder make them even more fun and more interesting. And I just think they're super cute. Super, super cute. Anyway, so that'll finish off our card. Let's see. You don't mind? It's a cozy live. Well, I'm glad it's cozy. Denise, let's see. It's sold out at the moment, is it? Well, shoot. Um, you only remember because it was a set you got from the Crop and Create in 2024. Really? They must have brought that back. Oh, you thought you missed me? Yeah. So, well, thank you, Cordelia. She said she loves the card. Well, I was trying to think, I wanted to show this and everything, and then I was like, well, I want to put together a card, and I want it to be, a pretty card, an interesting card, and so I started thinking about some things that I wanted to work with that I haven't worked with a lot, and so that's why I brought in the deckled die set. And then the filled notes, and the postage stamp there I have is actually from Love from Lizzie. Believe it or not, the only postage stamp die I have is from Love from Lizzie. I don't even have any of those. They've been making those postage stamp plate dies. I need to get one of those because I think they look so fun, but you have to stamp out all your various holiday sentiments. Yeah. I'm probably gonna have a live or a video where I just sit down with all my Christmas cards and I stamp the sentiments in them. So I need to get that planned because I need to get the ones that don't have sentiments in them. And I think it'd be fun to just kind of go through and look at all the different cards that I've made over the season. But anyway, so I think it turned out really cute. So I guess I just want to say thanks for stopping in. Let's see, Linda says tomorrow I'll show the dogs they had it in this past one. They're weird looking to you. You mean the current advent calendar? I've been avoiding. I don't watch them in advance because to me, I open one each day and it's like a little crafty Christmas present to me. And so, oh, the fall crop and create. Okay. I thought you was talking about the advent calendar. Yeah, I'm trying to steer away from any of those spoiler videos because I like to be surprised. And I try not to surprise people by showing them early. Anyway, I'm just gonna probably wrap up here, and I want you guys all to have a great week. Keeping in mind tomorrow we are, yeah, not the Advent. I want show Advent stuff till the day. Oh, okay, good. Okay. Oh, Cordelia's the same way. Yeah, it's my little present every day in December. That's the one thing I have is I get to open it up. I only have one Advent calendar and it's Spellbinders, and I just look forward to each day, the little surprise of what it's going to be. And I've got an idea. In fact, I ordered something of how I'm going to video each day, and I've got a fun idea with it. So I'm hoping that it works out. Anyway, it looks like Jim has sent me a cheater postage die set. Perfect. I'll have to wrap up this live and check out what he sent me. Anyway, I wanted you guys to have a great week, and I appreciate you joining me. Daria and I will hopefully be back next Monday at 6 p.m. in the evening. Change in time. I'll get it posted in advance so that you guys know that. And oh gosh, she only did the spoiler because Denise's brother. Yeah. So only time you guys could do it together. Okay. Well, have a good evening. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys around in all the crafty spaces. So take care. Bye bye now.